Feathers have long held deep symbolic meaning in ancient mythology, representing divinity, freedom, transformation, and communication with the spiritual world. Across cultures, feathers were often associated with gods, celestial beings, and messengers between the earthly and divine realms. Their lightness and ability to float on the wind made them symbols of transcendence, wisdom, and the soul's journey beyond the physical world. Whether as sacred objects, attributes of deities, or tools of magic, feathers have played a significant role in myths and religious traditions across civilizations. In ancient Egypt, feathers were closely linked to Ma'at, the goddess of truth, justice, and cosmic order. Ma'at was often depicted with an ostrich feather in her headdress, and her feather played a crucial role in the weighing of the heart ceremony. In the afterlife, the hearts of the dead were weighed against Ma'at's feather. If the heart was lighter than the feather, the soul was deemed pure and allowed to enter the afterlife. If it was heavy with sin, it was devoured by the monstrous Ammit. This myth reinforced the idea of feathers as symbols of purity, balance, and the spiritual weight of one's actions. In Greek mythology, feathers are often associated with flight, ambition, and the dangers of overreaching. The most famous example is the myth of Icarus, who, along with his father Daedalus, crafted wings made of feathers and wax to escape from Crete. Despite his father's warnings, Icarus flew too close to the sun, causing the wax to melt and his feathers to scatter, leading to his tragic fall into the sea. This story highlights both the power and peril of feathers, symbolizing human aspiration and the consequences of hubris. Feathers, in this context, represent both the ability to rise above earthly limitations and the potential downfall that comes with reckless ambition. Among many indigenous cultures of North America, feathers hold sacred meaning and are often used in rituals, headdresses, and ceremonial objects. Eagles, in particular, are seen as divine messengers, and their feathers symbolize strength, wisdom, and connection to the Great Spirit. Feathers were awarded to warriors and leaders as marks of honor and courage, and they were used in spiritual practices to carry prayers to the heavens. In some traditions, a feather falling from the sky was seen as a sign of divine communication or protection. Celtic mythology also incorporates the symbolism of feathers, often linking them to otherworldly beings and transformation. Birds, particularly ravens and swans, were associated with the mystical realm, and their feathers were believed to carry magical properties. The Morrigan, a war goddess, was said to take the form of a crow or raven, and her feathers symbolized prophecy, fate, and the power of transformation. Feathers were also connected to the concept of shapeshifting, as certain deities or heroes were believed to take on bird forms to travel between worlds. In Mesoamerican mythology, feathers were linked to gods and kings, often symbolizing power and divine favor. The Aztecs revered Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent god, who represented wisdom, creation, and the link between the heavens and the earth. Quetzal feathers, from the rare and vibrant Quetzal bird, were among the most prized materials, worn by rulers and priests as symbols of their divine right to lead. The intricate feathered headdresses of Aztec and Maya rulers signified not only their authority but also their connection to the gods. Feathers continue to hold meaning in modern culture, often representing freedom, spirituality, and communication with the divine. They appear in dreams, folklore, and personal symbolism as reminders of guidance, transformation, and the ability to rise above challenges. Whether as sacred objects in rituals or as metaphors in ancient myths, feathers remind us of the connection between the physical and the spiritual, between the earth and the sky, and between mortality and transcendence.